Beginning as a reference in the Star Watch Dispatch, Sataball was just a fun little thing to toss for a bit of background prose. Since it's not part of the game, there hasn't been a need to flesh it out, until now.
Chicken satay for Sataball opening day? Our Gia Mumbo stops by with a few party planning tips to make sure you start your Sataball season off right.
All that and more on the Empire Report at 2200 SET.
So if anyone's seen Ender's Game and the battle mode, it's pretty much that. It's in Astro Arena. It actually is going to be 16 versus 16. You guys ready? All right. There you go. It's still got a bunch of polish. There's a lot of little glitchy things, like, for instance, it's meant to be a different color visor depending on what team you're in. And then there's going to be a lot more fine-tuning on the sort of zero-G motion and animations, and you probably saw some glitches there. But I think ultimately, long-term, it actually could be kind of a fun thing to do in Star Citizen besides fly spaceships.
What I've also been working on is playing around with this new mode, as some of you guys saw at PAX East, was the Astro Arena level, and how it really showcased EVA type environments and floating around and stuff like that. And we're playing with this new mode called Sataball, which is kind of like a it's like a EVA anti-gravity, almost like I would say soccer. So it's a really cool mode where you're going around, you're trying to move this ball around and travel and really focus on utilizing EVA and like moving off objects and floating in space and making sure you toss the ball at the right angles and everything like that to make goals. And that's kind of an ongoing thing. We're trying to make sure that it feels right and plays great and is fun. And
in the persistent universe, this is how the zero-G movement will work. This is how you can navigate without thrusters. And so it's a fun opportunity to tackle all of these challenges up front and get it feeling right. One of the things we wanted was a more realistic kind of zero-G mechanics. So we've got full-body look poses now for zero-G, so as you look around, it's not just your upper torso, like twisting and looking around, which would look really unnatural in zero-G. It's actually from the tip of your head to the tip of your toes, your whole body is in an animation, and as you turn around, everything moves as one organism like you are, because normally in games where you have gravity, you just do it from the hip up.
All zero-G movement using the push-pull system. Yeah, it's actually really cool. We're pretty excited about some of the stuff we're working on with it. And then Chris has also been requesting just some tweaks to Sataball in terms of the color scheme. It looks a lot better now. And the size of the ball itself, we had it kind of as this massive beach ball thing before. And so we're scaling it down a little bit to be a little more manageable for players.
Speaking of which, we just wrapped up the Sataball character. David Jennison and Billy Lord did a great job doing the suit and the helmet, respectively. It was the first character that we've taken from scratch all the way through our new pipelines.
As we have continued to grow, we've begun pulling in some of those external projects to reside with our internal teams. This has always been our plan. In the case of Illfonic and Star Marine, this winding down and transitioning has been in progress as Illfonic's part in FPS is coming to a close.
We're going to have Sataball that will come online later on, which is sort of more a sports version, kind of futuristic version of, combine, basketball with American football with like football/soccer.
Sataball is a game within the game. We feel that the main game should take precedent over Sataball. Once we get EVA into a state that we like it, then we'll apply that to Sataball as a game mode. Doing it the other way around seems like putting the cart before the horse.
Number 1, Mr. Fantastic. So with this one, every time you meleeed, the arms would stretch out a little farther. That was definitely an interesting surprise.
Yeah, it gives him an unfair advantage in Sataball.
Seriously?
There is a Sataball team out here, the Baker Custlers. They're part of the Territorial League. So even in the darkest parts of the UE, people still love playing Sataball.
The question is, Chris, is it happening?
Okay, well, we will do Sataball. It will not be for 2.6. And Sataball would be in one of the later iterations, wouldn't be in 3.0, but the ones later, we didn't really call it out, but it is on our roadmap for sort of the Star Marine, one of the game modes. It's also something that we want to put into the universe itself. So, you know, potentially we could even have Sataball competitions of teams that are happening in.
We want huge arenas. You go land, park your ship, you go in, and you sort of walk in inside the big space station, and you enter the arena, and you go play against people, and have other people watching, that kind of stuff. That's what's going to be really cool. Yeah. It's almost like going to to Sunday night football.
People wanted to know if there's any update at all on Sataball.
Not really. To be totally honest with you guys, there's not a huge update on it, and I'll tell you why. So it's a 0G only thing. It's a core. It's not core gameplay at all. It is a whole different set of gameplay that only exists in that one mode. Chris will behead me if I go Sataball ain't happening. That's not what I'm saying. This is not at all what I'm saying. I would love to do this. To go back to the push-pull sort of concept. You're right. That might help push-pull, or it might slow it down. I doubt you'll be holding a Sataball. That's kind of my point, right? Yeah, okay, maybe it'll help it, but it'll probably actually slow it down, if anything, because it's so unique in its own sense. It's not just push-pull with a weapon. No, it's push-pull with a weapon and a gun. Or with a weapon and a gun. With a ball and a gun.
I think one thing as well to reflect on is that, you know, we're talking about all of the new things that we want to add to the game, but I don't think any of us here would say that we're happy with the core gameplay, what's there right now.
Chat's already talking about making their own Sataball game mode with the turtle. So
beautiful.
Do it.
Absolutely.
I'm still hoping for Sataball. I know, Jared.
There's a community version, isn't it? What's the name? Jake, do you remember?
The what?
Shooty Ball.
Shooty Ball.
Shooty Ball's awesome.
Yeah.
Sataball. How popular is Sataball around the verse?
We've talked about there being, kind of big stadiums all over the place, so it's big enough to support, tens of thousands of spectators every day.
Because we have all the, Adam said, the teams blocked out. So in the stand, hopefully you'll start seeing people eventually wearing the local teams jerseys and hats and stuff.
Here we go. So we're just sort of pulling ourselves along. And if we wanted to at this point, we could stop and we could push off against it, and then we would just go floating out into space. So that's the sort of idea of what we call push-pull. And these are still blockout animations, actually, but so there'll be a lot more like nuance or fidelity to it. But so we've spent a fair amount of time and engineering on all this, but it's not just for Squadron. It's going to be, it's obviously useful, but the use of this in the PU is going to be massive.
So you can see here we've got your messages. So this is kind of like the email client, and then on the right we've got kind of like the ship chat that's coming in with, general chip chat from the AI, which again.
You guys ready?